Gamers, is this pretty common in the gaming world? Cassie, grab a mic here, okay? Friend of a friend. Let me try to get the stats right here because it's not a direct friend. I believe she is 24 years old. She has been married to her husband for 2 years. She has been online playing Call of Duty for years and years and years, right? At first, she was playing with some randos around the country, and then she got into this group of 7. Is that how many you need to play Call of Duty? 7?
I actually don't know.
Okay. I think it's 7 that are on the same team all the time. Now, they've known each other for years, and they're all about the same age, but they really don't know much about each other at all, right? So this is kind of the beauty and the scary part of gaming also, is that you really don't know who you're playing with, right? But all you know is that if you got 7 people and you're crushing whatever you're supposed to crush in Call of Duty, you keep those people around, right? So for years, they're all playing together, but they don't know each other's names. Up until recently, they didn't even know what cities they were in. They just get on, they play by their gaming name, and they just have fun together, right? So they decided a couple of weeks ago, you know what? Since we have been playing with each other for years and years and years, can we finally just meet up? So they all agreed on a weekend to meet up that is coming up, right? Now, they live in all different parts of the country, they found out. You got some in Atlanta, you got a couple in Charleston, you got a couple out west also. There's one in Wyoming, one in Arizona. So they're in all parts of the world. They didn't even know it, right?
That's so cool.
I think so, too. Mm-hmm. So they decide that they're going to meet in some midway city, which would be Dallas. So they're 24 years old. None of them have a whole bunch of money, but they decided that they were going to get a suite together, all together. And their game plan is not even asleep for the weekend. They are going, they are setting up, and they are playing Call of Duty for the entire weekend. 7 people on the team. 5 are guys, 2 are women. And they're all hanging out, same room for 48 hours. Her husband, not down with this idea at all. He's like, I don't know these dudes. I trust you. I just don't trust them. But also the fact that she doesn't even really know their names.
Yeah.
All she knows them by is like their playing names, their gaming names, right? Mm-hmm. So should she back out of this? She says it happens all the time in the gaming world. And I did know one dude that actually did this with a bunch of other guys. She says it happens all the time in the gaming world. You don't know who they are. You meet up. Everything's fine. It's 2 days. He's not necessarily worried that they're going to hook up, but maybe he is. Just the danger she might be putting herself in. These are 5 guys from around the country. You have no idea who they are.
Yeah, that's really dangerous.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. He should go with her. That's what the solution I would do. That way she can still go and he can hang too, as long as he's not weird about it. He can just hang and watch and chat and watch and play. But any situation, especially when you're young, where you're putting 2 women or like the number of men way outweighs the number of women, and you're in an closed off space, like alone in a suite with 5 guys. And here's the problem is when you game with someone that much online, when you play Call of Duty or any game like that, because I have played it, you're a team. And so when I played online multiplayer games before I had my kids, like I would see the same names and you develop a rapport and a relationship. And it's an online relationship. But you're right, you truly don't know the person, but you can be lulled into that sense of, well, we're friends. I play with them every day. Like, I know them. But you don't know them.
They have no idea what each other looks like. They have no idea what they all do for a living.
Yeah, you don't know their beliefs.
Nothing.
I would run background checks as well before I went. I'd ask for everyone's names. I wouldn't tell them what I was doing, but I would run it because that situation, and it's hard when you're that young and in college, like you just want to have fun. I think of all the like dorm rooms at different colleges that I went to, not even thinking twice. And as an adult, I'm like, oh God.
I know, looking back, I think about all the stupid things I did when I was in my early 20s.
I should be dead 9 times. Seriously.
Yeah, it definitely is common. I know people who have done it. There are groups that have invited me to do it. I never did it because I wasn't like a heavy gamer like that. It wasn't that serious for me. But I do know that people do it. If I were in his shoes, I would be concerned not for the hooking up part, but for her safety.
Yeah.
So, but I wouldn't take the opportunity from her because I know, like gamers, that's a big deal to meet each other, to have, to do it in person. So if if it were me, I would go, even if I were close by, not necessarily in the room.
That's what I was thinking.
But yeah, I would feel safer if I were just there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking also is like when you brought it up, like maybe, this could sort of be a solo trip for you. Like you go do your thing with your gaming friends. You don't have to call me at all, right? Let's pretend I'm not even in the city. So I'll go do my thing in Dallas for 2 days while you're up there. And if you need me for anything, then call. If not, see you at the airport in 2 days.
Exactly that.
I mean, so is this a double standard? Like reverse the sexes? Would you feel the same way if he was going and there was 2 women there?
No.
Would I feel nervous about being hurt by 2 women?
No, not being hurt by 2 women, but would you be nervous as far as like I'm putting myself in his and her shoes. So if the sexes were reversed and my husband was going on some gaming outing to Dallas and he was going to be gaming for, the entire weekend in a hotel suite with 5 dudes or four dudes and 2 girls, would you have similar concerns?
For Bart?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Nah,
I wouldn't care if my husband, because I know he can fight back.
I hate this world we live in.
I know.
Well, are you saying men in general, or are we talking specifically Bart?
No, men in general.
I still think it's the same. I wouldn't think twice about it.
But it's just because those men, like, if they're bad guys, and they're probably not, but if they are, they could overpower those women so easily that's what worries me. Whereas if it's a guy, like, they probably could fight back. And
I think I like this idea. He's there too, in a different room, and you need me, I'm here. If not, see you at the airport in 2 days.
So we don't think that's controlling?
No,
I wouldn't think so.
I think it's a safe. I think you have to come to an agreement, and I would actually have check-ins. Like, I think being in the same city and like letting her do her thing, but be like, hey, babe, do you mind just like hitting me with a text every couple of hours? Just so I know, because there's a bunch of guys that I don't know and we don't know. And I think when you look at it logically, it's a safety thing.
Yeah, and so I'm torn, like because it's more so than anything, it's irritating me. Like I get the safety aspect of it, right? But him being there in the same city, like that also feels super controlling. Like if she has sent this email, like, hey, I'm going to go do this and I'm going to go gaming, but my husband, he's traveling with me and he refuses to let me go by myself, and he has to be in the same city and has to be in the same hotel. That would it rubs wrong.
So if I'm in that group and she comes in the room and she's like, I would want her to tell everybody that my husband is downstairs.
Yeah. Let's establish that right now.
Now, we could lie about it, and we could say he just happened to have a trip in Dallas this week, on a business trip, so my husband is downstairs. I'm not going to see him or anything like that, but he's down here. It's really, really cool. So I'm just going to see him at the air. I would want the dudes to know about that.
I agree.
The Bert Show.
So first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get the Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.